So first,
absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast Kid Nation edition. We're doing episode 4.
Here we are.
A 1-season wonder, so you already know what season it is. And that makes sense because this show is crazy.
Probably the best 1-season wonder.
So before we get into it, check out our description. We have our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Patreon all linked there. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Let's jump right in.
All right, let's do it. If you didn't know, 40 young pioneers set out to build a world of their own in an old ghost town called Bonanza City. We've got our 4 leaders, Mike, Anjay, Laurel, and Taylor, and they struggled to get the town to do their jobs. Greg, the oldest kid, took it into his own hands and offended almost every kid out there.
Yeah, everyone.
And he was like screaming and, trying to get the kids to go to work. They did their typical showdown last episode to determine their chores and, their pay. And they won a reward for the whole town. But a lot of the pioneers were upset with the council's decision. And Alicia was as well.
How could you not pick pizza?
A dust storm came through and Zach stepped up to bring the town back together.
I love him.
Then at the town hall, every kid decided to stay. No one went home. And we gave our 3rd gold star. Who will the council choose next? And will anyone else go home? Can the kids really build a better world?
This is ridiculous.
I like how they ask the same 3 questions at the end of every intro.
Yeah, it's giving like the Mormon wives. Will mom talk survive?
Oh,
that's what this
is. God.
Probably
honestly.
not.
Probably
but
not.
I don't care either way.
Seriously. Well, it's day 11 and Morgan and Sophia are like walking, I think, to go get water. And
oh man, the theme of this episode hits immediately.
Oh my God. I knew immediately what the book would be about this week.
Also, the fact, before we get into it, the fact that it's us two, I
thought about you the whole time. So Morgan asked Sophia if God put them here for a reason. And Sophia immediately quips back and is like, I stopped believing in God a long time ago.
Yeah,
and
Sophia's like, my parents made me come here and God no longer exists in my life.
The way she says it is like she's a 40-year-old woman. Like, I quit that a long time ago. She's 12.
Been hit with some shit. Laurel's Boston strong. You don't know what she's been through.
No, Laurel's not there. It's Morgan and Sophia. Sophia is the one who's doing it. I'm like, girly.
It's dark.
My God. But Morgan's like, all right, take God out of it. Like, do you know why you're here? And Sophia's like, I still don't care. I do not care about this question. But Morgan's like,
there is no God. Her parents are making her do this. There's no God to her.
Oh God. And Morgan's just like longing for a purpose out in this
trying to figure
abandoned town.
I keep talking to God. He won't answer. All right.
Well, Jared is back in the bunks and he's talking to some people about how at school he has had some bad things said about him because he's Jewish.
He's Jewish.
Just like so sad. And then we hear Guylan, he doesn't want religion in the town. He does not want it to be a big thing, which I get it. I get it. Things are going smooth. like, let's be chill, everybody. Then
we are about to get into the depths of this. Okay.
You immediately know where it's going.
Oh my God.
At breakfast, we're still on the religion talk. Colton is asking why Jewish people don't celebrate Christmas. Which this is an interesting part where it's like all these kids are coming from all different, like you'd think like, okay, let's just like learn about different things. No. We immediately turn sour by now. And it's like Zach is saying how like religion caused all these problems and wars.
All these wars. Also, so I guess Colton said something to Zach about like Jewish people. It was rude, but it was I don't want to like paraphrase because it's religion and it's very terrible what Colton said.
Yeah.
But something like Jewish people are terrible because they don't celebrate Christmas and they just mean something like that. And Zach was repeating it to another Jewish kid and Colton's like, yeah. And I was like, holy shit, Colton's parents hate Jewish people.
God, it was just like it's insane. I mean,
Your family's beliefs, this is what this represents. This was crazy. And the fact that at like 11, I was trying to
that
think because at 11, I don't think I was walking around going like religion starts war. But
no.
I was like, oh, this is, you know what this
Which
was?
I'm going to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in their like one-on-one sessions because I bet they're coached into some things like from production.
Okay.
But when they're sitting there with their friends saying these like strong statements, I'm like, oh God.
No, you know what time this was though?
Yes, I
It
know
was,
exactly.
yeah, it was like post 9/11 when
Yes.
we were fighting in the Middle East and
Yes.
people were really
Really
terrible
racist.
to Muslims
Muslims, yeah.
and like other like Middle Eastern religions.
Mm-hmm.
Um so that was terrible to relive.
I know. And
That
so
was so terrible. And can I just say again, your parents are your beliefs.
yeah,
Which
I
you
told Alicia
mentioned?
before we recorded this that
Yeah.
it kind of it fully hit me because I kind of already knew this, but just seeing it so in black and white,
Yeah,
especially in
these
this era, in this capsule of time, how much of a parent you are of what your
yeah,
parents say around you, which like I don't like fault like a 9-year-old for just like learning what like hearing what
no,
their
but
parent says and it's instilled in their brain, but like wow, you really got to go out and do your own like and learn about life on your
it's
own.
it also just shows like parents who are so
Close-minded.
terrible like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mom like literally talking to us and being like, we are not going to be rude to anyone's religion. Like she was very strict about that, which I was
That's
thankful
awesome.
for. And so I don't know how I would, because then if I have like a bunch of, because I grew up Catholic, a bunch of Catholics being like, no, stick with us, I'd be like, maybe okay. Like I don't know how I would react, but I do remember being like, so like standing up against people who didn't like Muslims in my class because it was
Yeah.
a thing.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
it's just so terrible to relive on this stupid show. Why would they have a
I
religion episode?
I
Oh,
don't I
terrible.
don't know. As if like the
Terrible.
child like basically abuse could not stop this show
Wasn't
from
that
being already
enough?
bad. Yeah. Well,
Oh
it
my
like made me sad because
god.
Zach was talking about like Hanukkah and like just like wanting to teach people what it is. And I have always been a curious person. So
Same.
like nobody even wants him to speak a sentence. That's how mean they are about like not
Yeah.
like putting up
It's
walls against other religions. They won't even hear about them.
yeah, it's literally like if you speak of a different religion.
They're pissed.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
yeah.
honest.
Which
It's the Christians. The Christians are pissed.
that's what drove this is what I took a full note that said this is why I'm glad I was never that Christian because it's them who is like we're the right way to believe and you're
Yes.
little
Which
do they know the Torah is the first half of
I
the Bible.
I don't think they do.
They don't.
Oh my God. I do want to say that like I grew up very Christian, very Catholic, went to Catholic school my whole life. And I am very thankful that my high school, one of our religion classes was learning about all the other religions.
Oh, that's so nice.
It
Cuz
was so incredible.
what always drives me nuts is and I'm glad like at some point we both learned this as
Mhm.
children like other religions aren't wrong. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't
People don't
make
realize
them
how much
wrong.
overlap there is.
Yeah, like you're all doing the same thing. You're believing in a higher power
I
that is
think we
supposed
get
to
there
like
at the end of the episode a little bit.
I agree, but oh my god, was it
Boy, do
so
we have to go through
uncomfortable
the
to watch.
trenches.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it gets worse
I
too.
know.
Just go on.
Okay,
Oh my god.
so we've got the town council and they're reading the journal. This pissed me off the most, I'm going to be
This was
honest.
terrible. These adults should be in jail.
I
Who wrote
agree. We're going to have
this?
to look up who was on the production of this. I'm going to IMDb
Oh
all these people
my
and
god.
send them
Oh, I'm
hate
about
mail.
to send hate mail.
Yeah. So they read the journal. It's been about 10 days that they've been here and everybody's working like crazy, but you got to feed the soul. And I was like, no,
No, fuck you.
no.
Fuck
If you want to
you.
feed the soul, give those kids a TV.
Fuck you. You know the majority of these kids are Christian of some
Yeah.
sort. You know those are the most as far as my experience, the first ones to say my religion is right and yours is wrong because Christians very rarely experience what like the Jewish population has experienced, or the Muslims or the Hindus. And there's one Indian kid. Anjay is the only one
Very true.
that's gonna believe in his religion.
Yeah.
That.
Well,
why?
Not only do they bring up the discussion, but they are forced to implement religion into the town, and they have to decide if they want to do one service or individual services.
I think the town council made a good decision where they were, and it was Anjay too.
I actually agree.
Okay, they were yeah, go on.
They go and they talk to the whole group, and they decide that they're going to do one religious ceremony and
everyone can teach
a piece of every, which I love that, where it's like,
that was amazing.
Also, there's no priest here, so we're not doing just like different ceremonies. Yeah, like let's be honest, at the end of the day, which I don't think a lot of these kids realize, like there's only so much of the service we can do.
Yeah.
But there's, I would say 50-50, or I feel like not too many people speak with backlash as we've heard with some other decisions, because I just don't think people know what to say.
There are a few big voices, though.
The people who talk are loud, like Olivia.
You would have thought that they said everyone needs to convert to a certain religion. Like, it was crazy. The fact that Olivia was like, I don't want to hear about other people's stuff. That's like not it. I was like, holy shit. It becomes a religion war.
And she's like, I don't want fighting, as she's literally screaming the entire time. I'm like, you were the only one causing a problem. You realize that, right? You are starting a fight.
Yes. And also Laurel tries to say, like, we just thought it would be nice if everyone learned about each other's stuff. And she's getting berated by Olivia. I think Morgan was in there a little bit. I can't think of them, but there were quite a few fucking, Colton was up in there.
Only thing that maybe the town council should have said is, we're just going to host an event or something, and you can come if you want and you don't have to, but we all are welcome.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good idea. But I also think, right, you could have said, like, if you want to give a 2-minute thing on your religion and say what you have to say, that would be great. We would love to learn, but we're all going to, like,
but we will have space for everybody is the huge thing.
Oh my God. This was crazy.
I know. And we get David saying that doing this will just cause a bunch of arguments, and it's like putting Republicans and Democrats in the same room together.
That was so funny. I wrote that down. Would you put Democrats and Republicans in the same room together? That's like putting Christians and Hindus. I went, what first?
Also, is he doing okay in 2024?
I have to know, because back in 2007 when this thing was
not that crazy.
It wasn't that crazy. I grew up in a divided household and it was fine. Not anymore, baby. It's 2024. We all pick a side and we're vocal about it.
I was like, oh, Lordy.
Ask me how many friends I have on the other side. Not many, because
not many.
You want to talk about a war.
That's the thing. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow, it is wild to watch this 17 years later.
Can you believe that back in the day it was religion that divided people the way politics do it now?
Well, I think it still is religion.
But I think now if someone's like, I'm Hindu, you're less likely to like be outraged. If someone's like, I'm this political party,
I think we subbed one label for another. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yes. Oh, for sure. This is so crazy that the producers agreed to this. This is insane.
I feel so bad for Laurel and Anjay, especially. They're taking the brunt of this and doing the most talking. And it's just like,
poor Anjay, he is the only. I think he's what? I think he's Hindu, right?
Yes, he's Hindu.
Oh, he is the only,
I know. And he's like, why are people scared to learn about other religions? And I'm like,
people are like, we don't want to learn about your fucking religion, Anjay. And I'm like,
I do.
I know very little about it. I want to know.
I want to hear. But you know what? Thank God we are going to lead with some data, though, too, because cute little Alex is going to go around and survey the town.
Wait. Alex was so cute. He is my new favorite kid on this block. He the fact that he wrote down all the different religions,
He
but also
knows
have
them. He
the
knows the
different
subsets.
the different sects of religion.
I
Oh my
was
God. I
he's
didn't know there were two Muslim sectors.
I only because I took this class in high school do I know this stuff. But
He's
like he
9.
is 9 years old. I did that at 16.
He's and he goes around and isn't trying to like
No.
start the wars that they're talking about. He's just like, "Hey,
What are
I'm
you?
taking a survey. What are
Yeah.
you?" My favorite though is when he asks someone and they go, "I'm Jewish," and he goes, "Orthodox or progressive?"
I was like,
It melted my whole heart. I wouldn't even think to ask that.
oh my
Orthodox, and the kid like
god.
stares at him for a second and goes, "Progressive." I went, there are no Orthodox Jews
He
here.
no, oh, absolutely not. He
Oh
also
my
asks
God.
what type of Christianity Emily is, and Emily has no idea. And I'm like, yeah, because she's like 9 years old. You really don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, and that's
She's sitting
okay.
there and she's like, Methodist? Like, she has no
She's like,
idea.
I'm just Christian. That's
I'm
all I
just
know.
Christian. Oh my God. He is so cute. He is
I
so cute. He is
know.
so intelligent. He is so smart. And the way he approaches this is way more mature than
Agreed.
Olivia could ever fucking hope to be.
Well, I think also
Oh
this
my God.
probably helps seeing like, hey, there are a lot of Jewish people here. There are a lot of, and like the division showing how we're scatter plotted across all of these religions. We had some
Yeah.
atheists in there, and
Yes. We had
when
3
he
atheists.
goes, they're three atheists. I had to put them together because like I guess there's subregions of atheists that I didn't know
Yes.
about.
He
Like
had to collect them into one.
I'm like, I love you. Like it's probably so nice to be able to see like, hey, you believe so strongly in your point and that is good for
Yeah.
you, but like there are a lot more people here. There are 37 other people here than you.
Yeah, and something also to learn is that I learned way too late in life is there are different types of Christians.
Oh yeah.
And like I used to think if you were Christian, you were Catholic.
I get
Nope.
that.
And you believe in different shit and you do
Yeah.
different things. Like obviously the main Bible is
Like,
still
did you
there.
know Mormons are a subdivision of Christianity?
No, had no idea. You're just telling me this now. I also didn't learn till college that like not everyone does Lent.
No, just well, it's a Catholic thing, but I think other Christians have taken it over too as
But
like
some Christians don't do it. They're like, why would I
yeah.
give anything up? And I'm
And
like,
same with Advent. It's not the same.
Advent. Oh my God, we could go on forever.
I
But
know.
yeah,
We're too
but
we were raised
Alex,
Catholic, so for
Alex
anybody else.
truly, in case you didn't realize, Alex truly is so cute and so intelligent in what he's doing. Like it to do this at 9 years old
I know.
is so beautiful.
All I
He's my
all I
favorite.
say to anybody out there is just lead with curiosity and love in
Yeah.
everything.
This
Nobody's
was
forcing you to do anything, but it's okay to learn things.
this was beautiful by Alex.
Agreed. Well, the town council rings the bell for the service and not one single human shows up. But I think production was involved in that. Like I don't think that was fully real.
Yeah, you're gonna tell me not one kid. Alex would have shown up. That's why I knew that something was
Yes.
up.
Like, come on, Zach would have shown up and like there were
Alex
people.
would have at least presented and been like, "Hey, these are my numbers. I
That would have
crunched."
been such a cool like
It
lead
would've been
off for like Alex to
cute.
be like, "Hey, I have the data.
I
Let me tell
know.
you, we have 8 people in this group. Why don't you guys get up and speak about it?"
Our data king.
I know. I love data. But I kind of get it. Some people are like, hey, this isn't really a real religious service. Like, there's no pastors or like leaders here. So, like, this is stupid.
Also, again, you guys are like 10 to 12. You're not gonna make me do anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing this. And Greg is like, hey, if people want to gather, cool, but like, it shouldn't be required and it shouldn't be a set thing. And I believe in that. Just say,
Especially
hey,
for the
we're
atheists.
having it.
What are they gonna do? Go to this ceremony and be like, "Hi, we don't believe in anything."
Well,
And
they
then
could
sit
still
down.
learn about other people's religions.
Yeah, but then they should also have the chance to talk about why they don't
Why
believe in
religion
stuff, which
isn't
would
real.
then anger probably the town. Yeah.
True.
So if it shouldn't be required.
Agreed. So Nobody shows up, and we move into night, and Morgan decides she kind of wants to put a little, like, I'm going to call it a prayer
It's just
service
cute.
together,
Yeah.
and they put a bonfire together, and she kind of just goes to people. She doesn't call a town meeting. She just goes one-to-one, kind of like Alex with the survey, and just says, hey, we're going to gather around the fire, and anybody can say a prayer. All are welcome. And that
Yes.
is how it should have been said to the town.
And I love that one kid was even like, "Oh, can Zach do like a Jewish, what's it called? Like it's not a hymn, but it's the equivalent of like a Jewish hymn or a Christian hymn. It's the
Sarah's
equivalent."
going to be listening to this, editing
I
this,
know. She's gonna be
shouting
like,
at
I
us.
taught you this because Sarah
I
gave us the crash course in Judaism.
know. We did a
Um,
whole
but
prayer.
like Morgan was literally like, yeah, I would love that if he could do it. Like she approached this as, I want everyone who wants to have some sort of spirituality,
Yes.
like welcome, and they're all going to be listened to. And it's not going to be like a teaching thing. It's just going to be a quick, like,
I think it
whatever.
and this is why I think language and how you present things is so key in everything. But religion is such a touchy subject to people that when it feels forced and like you have to do whatever a different religion is doing, people get like so clam up and they're not
Yeah,
interested. But when you say, hey, I'm making space and anybody can say a prayer, it just feels a little bit more approachable with Morgan's event versus the town council's.
agreed.
Also, just a
I
random
also,
citizen doing it is different than
I
the town
also don't
council.
think the town council did get a fair fight because they're
No,
presenting this and immediately getting yelled at.
they
Whereas
have to do it
Morgan
that
had,
way.
yeah, Morgan had the ability to talk one on one. The
Yes.
town council can't do that. They have to
Town
just
council did
announce.
nothing wrong. It just
No,
it's set
it
up.
was
They
received
were set up
terribly.
for failure.
Yeah, these kids were already talking about how much they hated other religions before the town council walked in. So there was no chance.
I know. But hey, what a great accomplishment for Bonanza
Yeah,
City.
we have religion
We have
ish now.
peace. No war started in Bonanza.
We still don't have food, but
That's
we
a low
have,
priority because no, our souls are nourished.
our souls are fed. Chicken soup for the soul.
Well, it's day 12 now, and we're back at work. DK is in the lowest class. He's a laborer, and he has
Oh,
no money either. He's just
DK's is
struggling through
he's
Bonanza City
sad.
right now.
He's a
Ta-
city boy. He's
I
not meant for
know.
this.
Taylor loves being upper class because you get to sleep in and do whatever you
I
want.
want to punch her.
And classic, everybody's annoyed with
Mhm.
Yellow. And
'Cause what
Zach,
did she say? What did she say last episode? What did she
deal with
say?
it.
Nope.
That?
What did she, when she started crying, what did she say?
Oh, that they were going to work harder.
Yeah, we're gonna help but clean up the town.
Okay. Oh, I didn't believe her for 1 second.
Not a second.
But Zach is being the leader that he actually is in everyday life. And he says no matter what his job is, he is going to work.
Yep.
He's going to participate in this town. And I get that. Like,
Yep.
hey, I would love to be in upper class because then you get to like choose to work and what hours and you just get to
Yeah.
pitch in. But like, you should do something.
What else are you doing in this town? I think that was my point a few episodes ago. I was like, there's nothing else to do. The upper class should just work because what the fuck else? You're hanging out with friends, basically,
Yeah.
when you're scrubbing dishes. Which, can I just say, these dishes are disgusting, and I don't know how we're not sick off the dishes yet. They
I
are
don't I
washed
don't understand the
in mud.
kitchen.
They are washed in mud. Like, it looks like disgusting
Alicia,
mud water.
I don't get it because there's constantly dirty dishes and then like they clean
And we
up.
eat off of
I,
them.
I don't know. I don't know how they're surviving with this
It's
kitchen.
truly disgusting.
Production has to be feeding these kids on like paper plates.
Production has to be getting them new dishes. These dishes are so
No,
gross.
no way. They are constantly behind on dishes and they always complain. Well, I bet plates and stuff maybe they're getting new dishes, but like the pots and pans, it seems like they're always behind
It's
on dishes.
no, truly, it's disgusting. Morgan was washing a pan, and the water was black.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that.
I was like, "Get the pan the fuck out of there!"
I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be the clean water or the dirt or like the soapy water or the rincing water. I don't
Ew.
know, but either
Either
way,
way,
or like soaking water. I don't
either
know, but I
way,
don't want my hands in there.
either way,
But
disgusting.
all right, moving on. We're gonna
I'll
we're
never
gonna
unsee it.
go to the showdown.
Nice.
And we're staying on theme. We're doing a church puzzle. And basically they have to put the puzzle together, then they have to like crank and raise it, and then they run to their mat to win.
Yeah.
And the entire town has to finish it within 30 minutes to get the reward for everybody.
That seemed like a long time for this puzzle.
I agree. We got 5 minutes to like wrangle some sheep last week.
Yep.
Whatever. Anyways, we get started, and Kelsey and Zach on the yellow team are leading over there. Then we've got Alex, Nathan, and Anjay on blue. And don't forget Alex.
Alex.
Alex is that young kid doing the survey data.
He's a smarty.
They are going to focus on the outside and go in, which is a great puzzle strategy.
Great puzzle.
Red starts with the steeple, and then green, per usual, off to a very slow start.
I felt like Tyra Banks going like, I'm rooting for you, like yelling at them, and they continue to disappoint me.
How are they bad at everything, Alicia?
They all have no talents to do anything.
And I think at one point, Laurel even says, like, I thought we had some brains. And I'm like, I would think that this would be your challenge.
Dude, Sophia seems like this puzzle really showed Sophia to be like, I don't like brain busters or whatever. But I would think Michael and Laurel would like
be okay.
Something. I mean, not against Alex.
Maybe their problem is they have too many mid people who kind of want to be a leader but nobody to rise to the occasion.
Yeah. Here's the thing about puzzles is you need one or two people in charge to give direction. So on the blue team, you had Anjay and Alex.
No. Oh. Anjay's on. Oh, wait, is he blue?
Yeah,
God, I always think he's red.
He's the leader of the blue team.
And Greg is the workhorse. Alex is the brains on this one.
Well, they're both like, start from the outside, like get the edges. And so they're like, Greg, grab all the edges. And Greg brings the edges. And then they put the edges, the corners, the everything.
You have to have a leader shouting direction and people doing the work. I feel like green doesn't have people who will do the work. They all just want to like figure out where their physical piece would go.
Yeah. And the other thing with puzzles is, so while the two other people are if you have a big team, I've learned this from my many years of Survivor. And
yes, I think about this all the time in Survivor.
You have 1 to 2 people in charge. You have 3 to 4 workhorses, and the rest of you can play around with the remaining shit. Yeah. Don't just stand there. If we're working at the bottom of the puzzle, you go to the top and you try and start putting shit together. Then when they come to the top, you get out of the way, go to the bottom. Like, if you are that useless, and sometimes I am, just start playing around.
But, like, you don't always have to be the hero, too. Like, I bet I could be decent at puzzles, but, like, hey, if there's somebody better, let them lead. And like you said, work off of where the main people are working. So work is still being done on the side.
If I see a piece that I think fits, I'm just going to put it down. I'm just going to start putting things together. Of the way.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Or I'm going to give it to the workhorse and be like, go.
Exactly. So
green has no organization.
No. Basically, green sucks. Yellow can't find some pieces, so they're falling behind. Red is pulling ahead.
So rooting against yellow.
I know. And then green's still figuring it out. Blue is doing pretty decent as well. So we have 10 minutes left in our timer, and red is moving fast, but blue is very, very close behind. They both have like one piece that's edited together where they're like both fitting in that last piece. Blue finishes and lifts their puzzle up.
Dude, can we talk about Greg cranking this thing?
Because, I saw this. Like, Greg is like, everybody back up. I got it. And he's doing it alone. Red's like all one-handing it, like trying to do it together. And then they see Greg cranking it out. And they're like, wait a minute. And so they change their strategy.
Yeah.
Greg lifts it up on his own and blue finishes first. We got that upper class.
Dude, Greg's kind of and then the 15-year-old me would be like, that was a good call by Greg. You know, I'd be like,
listen,
that bad?
Greg is incredible in the showdowns. He is the superstar.
That's where he has a task and he knows how to get it done. And he has to be some sort of a leader because he's the oldest.
And I bet he's competitive. So, like, he does want to win. He doesn't want to screw them over.
He's a 15-year-old boy. Of course he fucking is. Yeah.
Yeah. So then red is merchant, and we've got 5 minutes left. Yellow and green are neck and neck, which, like, green picked it up. Like, thank God.
Screaming.
But something always goes wrong with green, and yellow is one piece away. They put it in, and they get to their crank, and they start raising their steeple.
And they all start doing it together.
Yes, which, like,
to which I said, if green pulls a Greg, they could get it up faster.
Green runs to theirs and starts raising their steeple up, and we got 2 minutes left. Green is catching up to yellow, and everybody wants green to beat yellow, because if yellow wins this, they're in the kitchen, which we don't need. We've got yellow, and they hit the little bell thing first, and they run to their mat, and they're the cooks.
Green didn't do the Greg. They didn't ever just crank it.
Well, also, like, it was edited together to be more competitive, because we still have 1 minute left and the reward is on the line, and like green is like not that close. So they finally get it up. They run to their mat. We get the reward.
Woohoo!
And Jonathan tells us we've got 2 options.
Both these options were terrible.
I was pissed. Well, not terrible, but like,
no, they were both terrible.
I don't want either, but I know which one I would pick. Anyways, we get instant gratification with some putt-putt, or we go with spiritual salvation, which is a library of holy books. And the council
Which I'm glad they included all of them.
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't think they would. I think the whole purpose is that we learn about each other.
But that being said, I don't want either of these things.
No, I know you love to read, but even if these were just like a massive bookshelf for free, a library, I don't want this. I want the pizza. I want the pizza.
Girl, I love to read. I've been forced to read the Bible my whole life throughout my childhood. I don't need to read the Bible.
I don't want to read the Bible in a desert when I'm freezing cold alone.
I don't want to read the Torah. No offense to every other religious book. I don't want to read it. I already know the Torah. It's in the Bible. Like, don't got to read it. Like, there was just, and also I was never, listen, this might be bad. I was never that kid that was like, let's look through passages. That was never me. People
neither.
Quote, sometimes people are like, oh, John 3:16. Couldn't tell you what that is. Couldn't even tell you really who John is. He has a book somewhere. Couldn't tell you. Don't care.
Well, the council obviously has the decision, and Jonathan tells them to go take a walk, and they are like, you know what? We're not going to take a walk.
No,
we're going to listen to our people, and we're going to take a vote. And people overwhelmingly want the religious books.
These kids just know they should pick the, quote, right thing.
I think similar to the town meeting, there are some very strong voices chanting for it, so then you just kind of like fall in line. Like Olivia's sitting there like, Mallory, scream louder.
Yeah, okay. The golf course also sucked, so we didn't like lose anything like we did last week. I know, but at least
you get like something to do. There's only like 6 books, I think. So like there's 40 of us.
Also, those atheists, they don't benefit. Their book's not there.
Oh my God. Well, we're back in the town and the kids are thrilled. They're reading the books and...
Oh my God, they're doing passage reading. They have Bible study.
Zach is actually educating people that the Bible does include, like, this is where Judaism and Christianity, Christianity align a little bit.
Yeah, he's literally like, your book was based off of my book. And I was like, yeah, because the Christians stole that shit.
Yes, we just added a whole extra half of a book. And then Anjay is praying, and there are about 3 girls, I think, like looking over and kind of giggling, and I was kind of annoyed at that. But they asked him.
He's great. He's really good about it.
Anjay, precious boy.
He's precious.
He tells them that he's a Hindu, and they're kind of asking about some questions like, oh, do you believe in a lot of gods? And he's like, oh my God, yes, we actually believe in 330 million gods. And I was like, damn, that's a lot. And he goes, that's like a really holy thing to even hear about. And I was like, spit facts, dude. Look at you.
But they seem open after.
Yes.
There was that one girl on the yellow team, we've never really gotten her name, but she was a really big Christian.
Is she a blonde or the dark haired?
Dark hair. Big Christian girl. So she was like giggling at Anjay, but then she ends up like performing the prayer with him a little bit.
I think she's watching and like asking questions and pointing out at things.
Which is great. Think she's ask questions. No, at the end she like did. You know how he was like,
with the incense and stuff.
Yeah. So that was really nice to see, I guess. And God, there's nothing worse than when you're like the only one that believes in your religion, and
that's true.
But
Anjay's strong. Anjay can do it.
Anjay can do it, and he's so nice, and he's great at educating these girls.
Mm-hmm.
And that was lovely. And then also my dude Jared is meditating because
Yeah.
he doesn't fucking need the books.
No,
And
no,
I
no,
was
no. It's all up
cracking
here.
up. Jared's all about that spirituality.
Well, speaking of something non-spiritual, we go to our boy
Wait.
Cody.
I'm so sorry. I have one more note.
Go ahead.
I don't know who edited these episodes, but you should be in jail because when Anjay was praying, they played like the most Middle Eastern Bollywood music I've ever
I
heard.
did hear that.
That was terrible.
We
Sorry,
were
go on.
overtly racist back
We were
then.
racist. Yeah, we were terrible. Go on.
But we shift gears. We're gonna step away from the religious talk, and we're with Cody. And as Alicia said last episode, he was struggling last week, and he's struggling this week. And 2 days before he came to Bonanza City, he got a letter from his girlfriend, Ashley. He's liked her since the 3rd grade, and he misses her. So he's going to go to the saloon to get his mind off of her. And again, why are we drinking as if this is beer?
He literally goes, I need to take the edge off. He gets a soda.
Which, like, I think I was this kid too, where like my parents were pretty open about alcohol, so I'm sure I had this same mentality with my root beer, where I was like, let's crack one open tonight.
I know. It was so funny to watch though, because he's like sitting there disheveled, and
he's like
just
wiping his tears. He's like, I just need to take the edge off.
This kid's such a nerd. That was so funny.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And then when he's walking around like crying with the soda, and he's like, I got my girl back home. He's like at war.
And the other kid's like, let's go look at the bowls. It'll make you happy.
Yeah, let's go look at the bowls. Ugh. Oh my god.
Oh man.
It is so funny how kids mimic behavior. Like, it's so funny.
This reminds me, like, to be more watchful about what you're doing and saying. Like, kids idolize everything you're doing.
They're sponges. I'm now in front of all my friends' kids gonna crack open a cold one and be like, let's just take the edge off, because that's what I want them to do.
Well, just wait, because my favorite alcohol versus not alcohol conversation is right around the corner as Blue's in the kitchen cooking. They're the upper class, but they are cooking because Classic, Taylor and the yellow team, will not do anything. Yeah. So they go and find Taylor because she promised she would work harder at the last town council.
So funny, yeah.
And Laurel finds Taylor taking shots.
They're sipping on shots, which is even worse.
And she's laughing.
You're just in here taking shots?
I was like, what is she taking shots of? I couldn't tell.
Sprite? What water?
Why do we have shot glasses in Bonanza City?
That was crazy. And the fact that they don't know what a shot is, because Taylor and her stupid blonde friend were just sitting there like sipping this clear alcohol.
Like small sips, as if it burned too.
Yeah. If you're going to shot it back, throw
that baby back, girly.
Throw it back. Yeah. And then Laurel comes in. She's like, you're just taking shots? I was like, nah, she's slowly sipping on this clear water.
Taylor not only not doing her job and not being a leader, but then when they find her doing shots is so funny to me.
They're like, you're so embarrassing.
Yeah, they're like, you should be embarrassed. And Taylor's like, I'm not.
You're an alcoholic. It's like, it is equivalent to like what media portrays when like someone goes through a hard time and then they turn to alcohol, and then their family and friends try like show up at the bar, and they're like, you're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing your kids.
Well, we get 2 versions. We get sad version with Cody, who's like drowning his sorrows in root beer. And then we got like basically like an alcoholic who can't show up to their job, and Taylor ripping shots midday.
This made me think of, and this is so niche, only Meredith and I will get it. And I mean, we're watching a niche show, so it's not even that surprising. In All American, when the dad loses his coaching position and like gets divorced because he cheated, and then goes MIA and is just at the bar drinking, and his ex-girlfriend Grace comes over and is like, this is the third time this week, Billy. I was fucking down. That's what this was.
Yes.
It was so funny. The media is crazy. This is exactly that. And Morgan's like yelling at them, like,
It's
you promised
insanity.
you'd be better.
Yeah.
And you're here drinking?
Ugh.
Dude, I loved these two. This was so funny. I mean, like, I think Taylor's terrible, and so is her
I
team and her
agree.
stupid friends. But the alcohol references
Incredible
that these kids are doing.
Yes, they're not laying in bed anymore. They're ripping shots at the saloon.
The small sips of the carbonation, it really burned, so we couldn't shot it back.
Well, back to what the rest of the town is doing.
Reading religious books.
Again, nope. Again, despite Yellow not doing anything, Zach is not like his own district. He is here to help, and he sees all those dishes, and he decides he's sick of it. He's going to go around town and ask for help. And this is what I mean. You just got to go and be like, you're doing it, because I would say he has probably a 50% success rate.
There was even a kid that was like, no, I'm not going to help. And he's like, come on, man, it's Bonanza City.
And the kid's like, all right. Agrees. The only one we see who doesn't agree is Blaine, who actually runs away from Zach, which was 10 out of 10.
Zach shakes him. I get it. Blaine's like, nah, bitch. I'm the what is he? He's the I'm the merchants, baby. We got to go.
No, Blaine, I think, is blue, so he's upper class. He's like, I'm not doing shit.
You know what? They win. Him and Greg both win these challenges multiple times for blue, and then they're still forced to take the brunt of the outhouse tipping. Yeah, you don't have to clean dishes.
Well, Greg and Blaine can like relax it on the like normal people jobs, because like there's stuff that we need them for, so like let's save our favors.
Yeah. But when the little kids can't get the water, we'll send Greg and Blaine.
Exactly.
To kill the chickens.
We got red, green, and blue pitching in to do Yellow's job and clean all the dishes, and this is when you see the dark. Yes. And this is when you see the really gross water that you mentioned earlier.
Oh my God, it's so gross. It's so gross.
But Laurel is taking notice of Zach and is like, he deserves a gold star. He's a much better leader than Taylor, which the shot in Taylor's hand is a better leader than Taylor.
Down with town council.
Down with town council. Down with the whole Yellow district minus Zach.
I mean, Cody's falling apart over there. We'll give him a pass.
Oh my God. Well, it's day 13 and they wake up and it's snowing outside, and I'm not joking. This would be why I would go home.
Yeah, this is my 13th reason I have to go.
But I did clock there's somebody riding the bike outside, and I was like, damn, I never thought we'd see that again.
It didn't look like Sophia.
No.
Okay.
At this point, it's a communal bike.
Yes, she bought it for $3.
She has the bag now. She has her bag from like 2 episodes ago. Like, she's good.
She's good.
The town council, they kind of meet up and they chat about the gold star, names on the table.
Why aren't they taking suggestions again?
Well, it's snowing outside, so like, who wants to wait in a line?
Oh, okay, fair.
And they gave the vote on the prize, so like maybe they don't want to hear too much from the team, the group.
They just got reamed about
religion,
wanting a religious ceremony.
Yeah,
which is what they were told to do. So, okay.
Pro town council when it came to the religious discussion, down on town council when it comes to the 90% jobs.
90% of the time, yeah.
Yeah. Zach is on the table, Morgan is, and Greg is still on the table, except for Mike. He constantly is like, I want to know who's here to get a gold star and who's really here for the town.
Here's the thing. Mike, I said it before, I'll say it again. Greg is here for the money, and you just have to be okay with that, because one day he's going to stop working, and you're going to have to tip the outhouses, and you're not going to want to do that.
Scrawny arms can't.
Yeah, you're not going to want to do that.
Mike reminds me of the CEO saying we really need to return to office because like the work needs it and the culture.
Yeah, he's the guy that goes, but we're family at work. And you're like, no, I'm here for the money.
It's like, Mike, you're here to get away from your family as the CEO of this company.
Yeah.
I want to stay at home in my pajamas and work.
Yeah. Also, like, do you know how I know Taylor is just so young? She every week is like, I think Greg should get it. And I'm like, she just wants the approval of this 15-year-old fucking tween who, may I say, has a giant scab on his chin in this episode.
I
I
saw
don't know
that.
what
I wonder if
happened.
it's from the sheep incident last week.
Oh, you think the sheep really got him? See, he's
Maybe.
out here killing himself, Mike. Here's the thing. You're gonna regret the day Greg is sick and tired of not getting a gold star.
That's why I think Taylor always votes for him. She's like, we cannot lose Greg's like work when he does show up. He does do
Yeah.
big things for the town.
Because we know Taylor's not doing anything.
Yeah. She does. That means she would actually have to start probably doing things, and
Yeah,
she's
and
not
she's not
interested.
gonna do that.
It's time for the town meeting. And immediately we dive into it. Who approves of the council? Olivia is like, they
No
aren't
one.
showing enough leadership, and some people aren't even working. Taylor.
Yep, we're gonna come at again.
Absolutely. Taylor doesn't work hard, and she doesn't even encourage the yellow team to do good things. So it's like a double whammy.
Deal with it.
Zach is loud and proud about how much he hates Taylor.
Nice.
And Taylor's like, sit down, Zach, or you're going to be scrubbing toilets. And he's like, you got to stop punishing people. You are not, this is dictator behavior, and you are not in charge of me.
She's a fucking brat. And the fact that everyone heard that and went, boo, like basically booed Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And even the Bonanza guy was like,
a little shook.
Dude.
The producers in the back room are like, shit, we got to change out the book for next week and be like, how do we vote for new people?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a vote is on the horizon.
How are we 12 days in and I have not had the chance to overthrow town council yet?
I feel like it's really bad now. It's always been bad, but Yellow consistently hasn't done anything no matter what their job is. And them being in the kitchen.
Are we going to repick teams then too?
I think it's just the town council. I can't fully remember, but I don't think
so excited.
I don't think they shake up the teams.
Okay.
Well, next question is, does anybody want to leave? And Cody raises his hand. He immediately starts sobbing and like walks up and is like, I can't handle being away from my family. And there are good and bad reasons to leave. The good is to go back to his family. The bad is he will never see these people again.
Never. And the only time he's been away from his family was for a week and he was still with his grandma.
So like that doesn't count.
This kid's falling apart at the
He is so funny in his sorrow.
That root beer, it didn't take the edge off one fucking bit.
It actually sent him onto the Sunday scaries, and now he's like, I need to go home.
He's spiraling. He had 6 more, and now he just
the shame spiral is running deep.
It's happening, yeah.
And he says,
guys, but everyone's crying.
Guys, I'm going home.
See you never.
He goes and hugs his best friend, which we meet him for the first time, Campbell. He says goodbye, and then he like walks down an aisle and is like clapping hands on the way out.
Like a fucking superstar, that kid. Oh man, I'm gonna miss him being sad because that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen on this show.
I agree. I'm like, all right, somebody step up and provide more entertainment.
Yeah, that was great.
We move on to the next item of business, and we give out the gold star to Morgan.
Well deserved, Morgan.
Yes, she says she has the best friends here, and she's not going to leave. So
yeah, fuck that kid that left.
Yes.
Have we noticed that it's 2 boys? Boys aren't Boston strong, let me tell you.
That's so true. Yeah, so we're down to, actually, I think 3. I thought 3 people have left.
No, it's just Jimmy 2? And then that kid.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're down to 38.
Yep, 38 mouths to feed.
Dang. And I just have to say this. At the end of the episode, I don't know if you stayed during the credits, that Jared was making his own putt-putt game because they did not pick putt-putt.
I did. Jared's a fucking superstar. I love Jared.
He gives me funny quips, but Cody's were just better and more entertaining. Jared's are just simple, always consistent.
Cody was so sad. It was so funny.
Yes.
Over this girlfriend that he's dated for all of 24 hours.
Oh, it's the way he delivers it. He was like, my girlfriend 2 days before Bonanza City gives me a letter.
And a picture. I've got to get back to my girl.
She's gorgeous.
Not getting better. Yeah, he's hilarious.
I thought he was going to say... I thought he was so worried. I thought he was worried about going home because he was worried his girlfriend was going to break up with him.
Oh no, he knows the longer he's here, she's going to break up with him. So he's got to get home. No, I loved when he was like, I've only been away with my parents, but I was with my grandma. And I was like, all right.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I have obviously we know our star cast.
Yes.
So I have a lot of them, and a lot of them stand out week over week.
Yes.
But I don't know when we're gonna see him again, because some people stick out more than other.
I agree.
So I'm going with my guy Alex. He melted
Okay.
my whole heart with his religious survey. It was so cute. So Alex actually, as you can imagine, is a pretty smart fucking kid.
Yes.
He's a 3-time Nevada geography champion, and he represented Nevada in the National Geographic Bee for 3 years in a row. So so this came out in what, 2007?
7, I think we said.
So he did 2008 through 2010, the National Geographic
Post
Bee.
Kid Nation, he is like an all-star. Damn.
Yeah.
This did not tear him down.
No, he also is an international linguistics Olympiad.
Whoa.
A medalist. I didn't even know what the international linguistics competition was, but he's an Olympic medalist in that.
I don't know, but hats off to him.
He earned a silver medal in 2011 and a gold medal in 2012.
Wow.
And so he graduated from Stanford University, and now he works for, oh God, it's a software company that I see all the time, and I'm not going to pronounce it right. Atlassian. It's an Australian software company.
I don't know, but
if you saw it spelled, you'd know it. But yeah, so this kid,
genius.
He's
thank
doing
God we have
things.
Alex. We need more of Alex in the town.
No, literally, thank God. So I was very impressed by him. He's a 2-time medalist. He's represented Nevada in a National Geographic
He's
Bee.
a giver.
Stanford University. That's impressive. So good for him. I think they got like a mix of like really smart kids and like really dumb kids.
They said at the first episode, they really, diversified. So Alex is on the smart scale, and we got some really dumb people too.
Yeah. Don't worry though. There's a lot of interesting things that I found out about these
kids. Updates coming down the road.
Yeah, so that was fun. Good for Alex.
I like that one. I like that one. Well, we'll see where these kids go. We'll see if Alex pops back up. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, stick with us. This is hilarious. This was the funniest episode.
It's getting good. It's
now
getting
we're
good.
Drinking. Yeah.
Yep. Well, don't forget to do all the things. Rate, review, subscribe. But thanks for joining. Bye.